All right, this is the final part, guys. I have 32 minutes on my phone, and you guys better enjoy this listening series of Why So Can, because once I'm getting a piece on my wife, you're not saved, man. You're gonna be left behind. Obviously, but I'm gonna keep saying this. Even though I'm talking about the series, there's a high chance I will not do this. There's a high chance I'm just gonna stick to 4K Blu-ray on Amazon this is just more of a hassle for me, man. Like yeah, even Georgia to Ivan, man. If you do this, man, you're looking at it's just gonna be more crazy for you, Ivan. You're looking at like you're gonna have to hire like 80,000, like tens of thousands of employees. Ivan, you have to hire. You know what I'm saying? This is a huge project. You have all these overhead costs. It's gonna become crazy for you, Ivan. But you'll make more money, Ivan. Yes, George, I'll make more money if I do this. And you guys will get the theatrical experience like you do for Hollywood. Obviously, you get to see my movies at the theaters, which is the best experience ever, right? Seeing an Ivan movie at the theaters is the greatest cinematic experience in history. Best experience in history, especially for Zanus, Aerotech the Devil himself. Look at something crazy, yeah, man. Ivan, what's the chance? I don't know. 40% chance I'll build the theater chain. 60% chance I will not. The only way I will build that theater chain is if I make enough money off my book. If I make like 30 billion bucks off my book, I can take 10 billion of my money and put it towards building the theater chain. If I make only 15, 16, 17 billion, I'm not going to take 10 billion of my money. No. That's like more than half my money gone. I'm going to just take 95 million for my movie and I'm going to just partner with Amazon for the 4K Blu-ray movie. It's good enough. And I'll just stick to 4K Blu-ray for the rest of my 5 movies. You see what I'm saying? But I do really want to build that theater chain, man. Having a movie at the theaters is the best experience ever, man. You have the buzz of my movie, and you have the billboard posters at the theaters. Everyone's lined up. They buy their popcorn. You see my movie on IMAX. The best experience ever. Yeah, man. The Great Escape. Yeah, man. The Great Escape movie. Yeah, obviously. But for the Great Escape, because it's a 4-hour movie, I'm going to have to what? I'm going to have intermissions for my movie. So after 2 hours, you have intermission, and you watch the rest of the movie. So you have two intermissions for the Great Escape, and Very Unique will only be like 3 hours long, 3.5 hours long. So that you can easily yeah yeah. So for Keanu Reeves for the Great Escape, he gets 0.3% of the 4K Blu-ray box office. Not that he doesn't get a dime off the ticket sales. If his agent gets greedy and he wants a piece of ticket sales, what about the ticket sales? I'm like, no, man, I'm not giving him a piece of ticket sales. I'm not giving him a piece of the box office ticket sales. I'm only giving him a piece of the box office 4K Blu-ray. And the reason why I'm giving the actors a piece of 4K Blu-ray because they're going to make more money. There's more money to be made in 4K Blu-ray than ticket sales. Because I'm pricing my movies for like $100 after Zanus. A lot of big profit margins. That's why Keanu Reeves will make his nice like $100 million. But he's not getting a dime off the ticket sales, obviously. And what? Scarlett Johansson's not getting a dime off the ticket sales, and Ben Affleck's not getting a dime off the ticket sales. They're not getting squat. They're only getting a piece of the profits for the 4K Blu-ray movie. 4K Blu-ray movie, and they get a piece of the merch. They get a 1.5 million for the merch, and that's it. That's all you're getting, man. I'm not giving you any more money, man. And you get your perks, your $2,100 gas, your $2,000, $300 gas card, $2,000 gift card. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you get your $250,000 for the re-releases for the 4K Blu-ray movies. That's my deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because guarantee Keanu Reeves, because the fact that Keanu Reeves took $250 million for The Matrix, and he didn't even give Carrie-Anne Moss a piece of his money, I would have given Carrie-Anne Moss a nice like $4 or $5 million of my money, man. Hey, give Carrie-Anne Moss a nice $4 million. That way she gets paid a good salary for herself. She probably only made $1 million for The Matrix, 800K around there. She's only worth $3 million, Carrie-Anne Moss, and she didn't after Matrix. She didn't have a very successful career. You see what I'm saying? She's kind of like a one-hit wonder, Karen Moss. She did Matrix, and after that, she hasn't been doing any big-budget movies afterwards. She did that movie called Unspeakable, whatever it's called. That terrorist with Samuel Jackson. That was a big-budget movie, but she hasn't been doing any big-budget movies much. Karen Moss is an A-list actor, but she's kind of like a hybrid rising star A-list actor. She's kind of like, she's not that big. She's only worth $3 million. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Keanu Reeves could have easily given her a nice $4 or $5 million of his money, man. Like, hey, give $5 million, take $5 million of my money, and pay Carrie Ann Moss her like $4 or $5 million, man. She could have done that, and he didn't do that, man. He took the whole $250 million. If Warner Bros. Offered me $250 million, I would have given Carrie Ann Moss like $4 million. I'm like, hey, give Carrie Ann Moss $4 million of my money. That way she takes home a nice paycheck for herself. Because you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, but not even Keanu Reeves was the main show, yeah, but Carrie Ann Moss contributed a lot to The Matrix too. She was a big part of the movie, obviously. She was worth a nice, like, at least $3-4 million for that movie, man. And they paid her like $1 million, I heard. $1,800,000. And then Lawrence Fishburne made his like $20 million, $25 million, and Keanu Reeves made his like $250 million. Yeah, he took all the money. I heard he took some of his money and he gave like $1 million to the main like special effects guys, and he bought them bikes. But that's a rumor. I don't know if that's true. Chances are Keanu Reeves took the whole $250 million. Yeah, he's greedy, obviously. Yeah, man. I would have taken the whole $250 million too, but I would have at least given like at least $4 million to Keanu Reeves to Carrie Ann Moss. That's how you know Keanu Reeves is obviously a greedy shark. The fact that he took $250 for Matrix, he's greedy, obviously. He's a greedy animal, Keanu Reeves. He might get angry if I give him that deal at 0.3. Ivan, why is it such a big deal to you? You're going to make your billions off your ticket sales. You're going to make your billions off your movie. Why is me making $150 such a big deal to you? I'm like, no, Keanu Reeves. I'm not going to do my thing. I'm going to keep you around that $100 million range. 110, 100, 89 million range. That way you don't dupe me. At the end of the day, I'm the star of the movie, man. You're my co-star. You built some buzz, but I'm the star. Me and Vijay are the fucking stars of the movie. You may be the star for The Matrix in Hollywood, obviously, but when you're in my movie, I am the fucking star. Me and Vijay are the stars. We're the main show. You are my co-stars. You build buzz. Hence why I'm giving you a nice piece of the profits. But that's all you're getting. You're not getting any more than that. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Yeah. Hence why you gotta be careful about the sharks. Same goes for Will Smith. For him, that movie, you know what I'm saying? Will Smith might agree. Ivan, what about the ticket sales? Am I getting a piece of that? I'm like, no, Will, you're not getting a dime off the ticket sales. As ticket sales, the ticket sale money isn't even that good compared to the trust me, guys, I know what I'm doing. The 4K Blu-ray money, the 4K Blu-ray box office is where the real money is. It's not the ticket sales. Ticket sales is a lot of money, but it's not the kind of money you're making for the 4K Blu-ray box office. Hence why all the agents are really, really going to try and get a piece of that 4K Blu-ray box office because they know that's where the real money is. Because Ivan's pricing his series for $100, big profit margins. They know they can make a lot of money. Whereas the ticket sales, the profit margins are not that big, man. Because Ivan has so much overhead costs. He's paying all his employees. You know what I'm saying? He's all the food costs, the building maintenance fees. You know, that all costs us money, obviously. The property taxes, all that stuff. Yeah, Ivan's only pricing his tickets for $17, hence the profit margin is not that big. Yeah, me and Vijay are probably only going to make like maybe $18 billion, $17 billion off the ticket sales for what? Maybe $20 billion we'll make. $18 billion, $17 billion we'll make off the volume off the ticket sales. We'll make a lot of money, but not the kind of money we're making for the 4K Blu-ray. The 4K Blu-ray is where the real money is, man. The contract I signed with Amazon, that's the big deal. As well as the theater, the ticket sales is a big deal too, but it's not on the same level as the deal I signed with Amazon. That's where the real money is. That's why they're really going to try and get a bigger chunk of the pie for that. But they're also going to try and get, their agents are also going to try and get a piece of the profit for ticket sales if I build that theater chain. If I build that theater chain, you're going to see Keanu Reeves' agent, Ben Affleck's agent. You're even going to see the Zayn's actors. They're going to try and get a piece of the ticket sales. I'm like, guys, you're not getting a dime for ticket sales. You're not worth it. I'm already giving you a nice piece of profits for the 4K Blu-ray box office. You're not getting a dime off the ticket sales. You're not worth it, man. I'm the main fucking show. Me and Vijay are the main show. You're my co-stars, but at the end of the day, you're the side attention. Me and Vijay are the main show. You get your flat salary. You get your $250,000 royalty check for the merch, and you get your nice royalty check for the profits. A nice 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, $18 million in royalties, and that's it. I'm not paying you more money. You know what I'm saying? Ivan, what about the merch? I'm like, no, he's not. They're not getting a. Keanu Reeves are not getting a piece of royalties for the merch, except for the 1.5 million. Ivan, what about 10 million? I'm like, no, I'm not giving you $10 million. You're not worth it, man. You're not the main show, man. You're featured my posters. Yeah, we're your stars. Yeah, hence why I'm giving you $1.5 million, which is a good $600,000 over taxes in your bank. After your agent's nice paycheck for being featured on a poster, man. Being featured on 6 posters. You got paid for being featured on the poster. It's a good paycheck. A nice 600 grand for yourself. You do a lot of things with 600 grand, man. See what I'm saying? Buy your nice bikes. Buy your nice cars. Get more clothes for yourself. Take your girlfriend, your wife, your family on to dinner. Yeah, it's a good paycheck, man. I gave you a good deal. You see what I'm saying? I gave you a good deal. So I'm looking at saying is, if I end up releasing Zanus at the theaters, you are looking at crazy worldwide buzz like you've never experienced before, guys. Something even crazier than even my 4K Blu-ray. For 4K Blu-ray. 4K Blu-ray will have crazy worldwide buzz, but it's not the kind of buzz like fucking being released to theaters, man. If I release Zanus to theaters, you're looking at crazy worldwide buzz. Yeah, man. And what I'm gonna do for the billboards, what I'm gonna do for the billboard, what I'm gonna do for the billboards at the theaters, I'm not gonna have them show Airtat's full face. Have them do like a shadowy face. You have like a shadowy mirror of his face, a shadow mirror of his face. You know how you got the Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker? You got the shadow of his face for the billboard poster? Something like that for Airtat. You know, builds buzz. You see me with my sword. You see John Boyega. You see Yvonne Joje. You see, I don't know, Viggo Mortensen, Don Cheadle. You see all of us feature. Something crazy, yeah, man. You see VJ feature. Something crazy, yeah, man. Something fucking crazy, yeah. Hence why you guys are going to feel like total shit, because you're going to feel that price of being left behind, man. Because you're looking at worldwide fame. If I build that theory chain, you're looking at even crazier fame for my fucking movie, man. You're looking at crazy fucking fame, yeah, man. Crazy fame. Like you've never experienced before. You're looking at crazy fame, man. Crazy fame, yeah, man. Crazy fame like you've never experienced before. Yeah. Yeah, man. Do not let Peter Jackson, because guarantee Peter Jackson, he's going to try and get like, his agent's going to try and get like 0.6% of the ticket sales too. Peter Jackson knows if I give him 0.6% of the ticket sales, he's going to make like his $80 million, $70 million or something like that. Because it's not as much money, right? He'll make like his 70 million, $60 million, Peter. He knows he'll make that kind of money. And he wants a piece of my Peter. I'm not going to give you 0.6% of the ticket sales. You rip me off. I'll give you a nice piece. I'll give you a nice, I don't know, $20 million worth of the 3 movies for the ticket sales. That's it. I'm not giving you any more than that if I build that theater chain. And if I don't build a theater chain, he's not getting any more than 0.6. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not paying him any more than that. I'm not giving him any more. I'm not giving him pieces of merch. And I'm not what? I'm not going any higher than 0.6. Because you don't want Peter Jackson duping you, man. Or Mel Gibson. You don't want Mel Gibson. Mel, I'm not going to give you any more than 0.5. You know what I'm saying? If you want more, I'm not giving you any more, Mel. That's good enough. 5 is the deal. Yes, I give you a good deal. I gave 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 you a good deal. See what I'm saying? I gave you a good deal. 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 See what I'm saying? I gave you a good deal. Obviously. Yeah. So that's my deal for Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. If they don't like it, I'm like, guys, if you don't like my offer, you're more than welcome to work on Hall Ivan's deal. Yes. As $100 million is a lot of money, John. As I'm not going to let you walk away with $300 of my money. Ivan, why don't you release the movies year by... Why don't you release the volumes on 4K Blu-ray separately, Ivan? We'll make more money. I'm like, John, I'm not going to let you walk away with $300 of my money, man. You're fucking crazy. I'm not going to... If I do a deal like that, you only get a piece of products for the first movie. That's it. You're not getting a dime off the other ones. That would be my deal if I do that. But I don't want to keep the fans waiting. That's why the best thing to do for Zayn is release the whole thing in a box set. That way the fans don't have to wait for Volume 2 and Volume 3. Because once you guys see a movie on theaters, you're gonna want to watch it again. Hence why I'm gonna put like a 6.5 month cap for the world to watch, and after that I'm gonna move on to Volume 2. And if those who did not watch it, you'll be able to buy the 4K Blu-ray movie like a good I don't know 10 months later. You see what I'm saying? And you guys can watch it at home every week if you want, right? Yeah. Yeah, man. Hence why I'll be able to grab John from Hollywood, obviously. Because Hollywood, sorry, John, we can't compete with Ivan's offer, man. If Ivan gives you 0.2% of the 4K Blu-ray box office, and he gives you a nice tiny piece of that ticket sales, if Ivan builds that theater chain, and he gives you like 0.01% of that, you're going to make a nice like 9 million, 12 million bucks for yourself in royalties. He's giving you like $100 million worth of royalties for the 4K Blu-ray box office. We can't compete with that, John. We don't even make that. Yeah, the studio heads in Hollywood don't even make $100 million. They make their like 15, 18, 20 million bucks. And they get nice bonuses, 14, 10, 15, 20 million dollar bonuses. You see what I'm saying? CEOs in Hollywood make on average like 18 million a year around there, 20 million a year, and they get performance bonuses. Like 15, 14. Bob Chapek only made $14 million in 2020, I believe. And then this year I heard he made like 21 million. Yeah, John's making even more than Bob Chapek, man. You see what I'm saying? He's making his $34 million sign. Well, that's more than how much Bob Chapek makes for his bonus. But he's making a smaller yearly side, but he's getting his nice, I don't know, $9, $12 million in royalties for the ticket sales. He's making his nice, like, $100 million in royalties for the 4K Blu-ray box office. The 4K Blu-ray sales, right? Yeah, I gave John a good deal. But I'm going to keep saying is, if the movie does more than a certain amount of money, you reduce John's amount to 0.1, he'll still make his $190, $80 million. That way he doesn't dupe you, see what I'm saying? You don't want John walking away with $200, $300 of money. No, he's not worth that. He's ripping you off. But Ivan, why is $300 million such a big deal to you, Ivan? Like, if you make, you and V's are going to make your tens of billions, like $300 million is chump change, Ivan. I'm like, John, let me ask you this question. If you were in my shoes, would you give me $300 of your money? No, Ivan, I wouldn't. Yes. Put yourself in my shoes. If you were me and you were God and you had the keys, but you're not, don't hate me. And you can make your easy billions like me, and you're the main show, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And what? Would you pay me $300? No, Ivan, I wouldn't pay you that. No. I'd pay you maybe like 20 million, Ivan. I wouldn't pay you. Yeah, I wouldn't even pay you 100 million, Ivan. I'd pay you maybe 20, 30 million, and that's it. Yeah, and I'm willing to pay you your $34 million sign-ons, your your salary, give you perks. And I'm willing to give you a nice like $100 of my money, man. It's a nice paycheck. See what I'm saying? That is a nice paycheck. Yeah. If Peter Jackson, Adrian, I'm like, Peter, let me ask you this question. If you made all this money, would you give me $1 billion of your money, Ivan? Fuck no, Ivan. You fucking crazy. Yes. I wouldn't. If you think I'm going to let you do like that and have me release my movie separately on 4K Blu-ray and you make $1 billion of my movie, you're crazy, man. I'm not going to let you do it like that. I'm going to keep you around that 350, 380, $300 million range. You're still going to make your 450 million plus, Peter. Maybe even to perhaps even 500 million you're going to make. That's a lot of money, Peter. The money that you're not going to make in Hollywood. That's double what you make for fucking Lord of the Rings. You're going to walk away with hundreds of millions in your bank, Peter. It's a good deal. It's a good deal, Ivan, but I'm fucking greedy, man. I want a nice $600 million in my bank, $500 million in my bank. I want to make that nice $1,950 million, Ivan. I know, Peter, you're greedy. You smell blood in the water. You want to make as much money as you can. I'm not going to do like that, man. I'm And Peter will work his ass off because I paid him his nice. He signed like his $450 million deal, $500 million deal. He'll work hard, Peter. He'll work his ass off. He'll work double harder for me than what he even did for Lord of the Rings. Yo, Ivan, fuck Hollywood. Hollywood's dirty as fuck. I'm gonna work harder for you. You gave my freedom. You paid me money. You gave me all these nice perks. You gave me an unlimited budget. Yes, I gave Peter an unlimited budget. He'll work harder for me, obviously. You know what I'm saying? He will work harder for me. Peter Jackson will work harder for me. He will work harder for me. Peter Jackson will work harder for me. You see what I'm saying? He will work harder for me, Peter Jackson. He will work harder for me. He will work harder for me, Peter Jackson. You see what I'm saying? He will work harder for me. Yeah, hence why Zane's will guaranteed be a better movie than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. And you're also going to get to see it in the IMAX experience at the theaters if I build that theater chain, yeah. And it's going to have my red carpet looking at the whole city cheering me on. And you're looking at the whole country booked lined up to what? All of Switzerland lined up to watch a movie at the theaters. You see what I'm saying? Ivan, how much theaters are you gonna build for country? I'm gonna build probably a good like 100 theaters on average per country around there in Europe. Around there, right? 80 theaters per country around there. Europe has a good 30 countries, and I'm gonna have to build a good like what? A lot of fucking. I know. I'm gonna have to build a good like 1,300 theaters in Europe. Something crazy, man. And then like a good like 200 in Canada and like 450 and 420, 430 in America. 180, 170 in Canada is enough. And you build like 420 in America. That's enough. And you build a good like 1,300 in Europe. On every single country, every single country in Europe, you build it there. That way everyone can see my movie, obviously. Whereas Africa and South America, I'm sorry guys, in the Middle East, I will not build theaters there. As most people there don't speak English, so hence why I'm not going to build theaters there. But I'm going to stick to the major countries. Like Europe, North America, Mexico, America, Canada. All the countries in Europe. And you can build some in India. India has Bollywood, right? You can build some in India. And you can build, China is a big market. You have to build theaters in China. China is very, very big. And Japan, Korea, New Zealand, Australia, those are the major countries I'm going to build it in. And that's it. I'm not going to build theaters in Africa, no. As AMC and all those theaters are not in Africa. They're not in Africa. They're not in the Middle East. They're only in Europe and like North America, Japan, and those places. That's where all the big theater chains are. The first world countries. You know what I'm saying? The first world countries, obviously. Obviously, yeah. Yeah. And my movie will, if I build that theater chain, my movie will have crazy buzz, man. Crazy worldwide buzz. Because Aratat's the devil himself. And it's a better story. It's going to have crazier buzz than Harry Potter, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and even Star Wars. Star Wars is the biggest IP in fucking Hollywood right now. It's the biggest intellectual property in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? I believe IP stands for intellectual property. It can either mean intellectual property or investment property, right? Intellectual property, that's what it stands for, I believe. IP, right? Star Wars is the biggest intellectual property in what? In Hollywood right now. It's even bigger than Marvel. It didn't do as good as what? It didn't do as good as Marvel in the box office, obviously, but Star Wars is a bigger brand than even Marvel. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is bigger than Star Wars, but the Star Wars brand as a whole is bigger than even Marvel. You see what I'm saying? As all the Star Wars shows are popular, all the Star Wars movies, they all gross a lot of money. They all gross $1 billion plus, man. Star Wars is very, very popular. And you also have the books, you have the games. It's fucking big, man. It's bigger than Marvel. It's bigger than Lord of the Rings. It's bigger than Harry Potter. It's bigger than all those games. It's bigger than all those games. Yeah, man. It's bigger than all those games. Bigger than all those IPs. But Xanus will become the biggest IP once I release my book for purchase on Hulu. It will beat out Star Wars. You see what I'm saying? As you're looking at crazier, you're looking at bigger sales for my merch. Star Wars has crazy sales for the merch, but it's not on the same level as my merch. You're looking at crazy buzz for my merch. As all you guys around the world are gonna be hard. You're gonna be in line buying my fucking merch. You're gonna be in line buying my buying my merch for when I release it on Amazon. Yeah, and I'll release my merch before I release it on theaters at the premiere at the theaters. I'll release my merch before the premiere at the theaters, obviously, and I'll release the 4K Blu-ray after the volumes after the release on theaters, direct for purchase on Amazon. See what I'm saying? Or you guys can binge it more at home, obviously. That's if I put up theaters. I might not. I might just stick to 4K Blu-ray on Amazon. We'll see what happens. Obviously. Yeah, man. My SkySource brand will be the base for my entertainment industry. If I build that theater chain, it'll be even better than Hollywood. I'm gonna build IMAX theater screenings, buildings. Yeah, man. IMAX theaters. I'm gonna build all IMAX. That's how we get the IMAX experience. Yeah, it'll beat out AMC. Yeah, man. It will beat out AMC. It will beat out AMC. See what I'm saying? It will beat out AMC. It will beat out AMC, obviously. And yeah. Trust me, once you guys remember, you'll find something. Holy shit, Ivan wrote this book? You know what I'm saying? Ivan wrote this book, yeah. And it's finally gonna dawn on you, holy shit. I remember when Ivan was pumping out his listening series and his videos, he was talking about, he was working on his book, obviously. And now his book is like the biggest IP in the entertainment industry. Yeah, and he I don't know. Ivan built his own theater chain. You know what I'm saying? He built his own theater chain. He now has Zanus merch sold on Amazon. The posters, the mugs. I might sell T-shirts. We'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? I remember when he was just when he was just writing his book and he was promoting his book, and now his book is the biggest IP in the fucking entertainment industry. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, I remember this Ivan when he was writing his book. I remember when he talked about his book on the board and also on his board when he made that video about his Xanax story, and now he released his book. He made his billions. He's king now, obviously. Now I don't know, him and VJ built that theater chain, that IMAX, that Sky Max Entertainment Theater. Sky Max Entertainment Theater, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Sky Max Entertainment Theater. Ivan owns his own theater chain. You know what I'm saying? And now his movie's about his movie's about to premiere at the theaters. The whole world's going crazy about it, obviously, and everyone's lined up. They're buying all the popcorns for Zane's movie. And now Ivan, look at Ivan now. He's so boss and he owns his own like big ass company. Yeah, yeah. My company will be even bigger than Disney, man. If I build that theater, my company will be bigger than Disney, because I'm doing billions off the ticket sales. I'm also doing billions off the 4K Blu-ray and the merch. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Look at Ivan. Ivan pulled it off. He wrote his masterpiece, and now his masterpiece is the biggest IP in the entertainment industry. Yeah, Zane's will become the biggest IP in the entertainment industry. It'll be bigger than all the Marvel movies combined. As the Marvel Cinematic Universe did a good like 30 billion in sales for their 30 movies, for their 29 movies around there. Their movies all average out to $1 billion. You see what I'm saying? And yet what? My theater chain alone will do like 18 billion per movie per volume. And I'm also gonna do another, I don't know, 70 billion for my movies and my merch. For Zanus. Yeah. My company's bigger than Hollywood. Zanus will be a bigger IP than all the whole entire cinematic universe. It'll be bigger than the whole entire Star Wars universe. As the Star Wars universe only generated like maybe 20 billion bucks or something like that. 30 billion bucks, 30 billion bucks around there. Star Wars generated over the last, I don't know, 50 years. With toy sales, maybe generate maybe a good 30 billion bucks, maybe around there. Yeah, like my movie will do like what, 100+ billion in sales for the 4K movie box office, and it'll do billions for the box office for the ticket sales too at the theaters. Yeah, my stance will be the biggest IP in the entertainment industry, guys, as well as The Great Escape. The Great Escape will beat out Marvel, and Their Unique will beat out Marvel. Yeah, I'm gonna sell merch for that too. The Great Escape will come with 6 posters, and I'm also going to sell mugs. And I might sell toy guns. Maybe like a Keanu Reeves toy gun and Ivan and Vijay. The guns that me and Vijay use, we can sell those like toy guns if you want. You can do something like that for the merch if you want. But I'm just going to stick to mugs and posters. That's good enough. And perhaps t-shirts for my merch. Obviously, yeah, man. Biggest IP in the anime industry, yeah, man. As we guys know, yeah, I remember Ivan when he was pumping out his series, he was promoting his book, and now he sold his book. He made his billions for him and his wife, obviously, and now he's boss, and his IP is the biggest one Brownie in the industry. Yeah, man, it's fucking big. Yeah, man. And yes, ending off here, I'm gonna keep saying this. Even though I believe Xanus is a better story than Lord of the Rings. Some of the Lord of the Rings nerds and Lord of the Rings Reddit might like Lord of the Rings better than my book. I highly doubt it because Lord of the Rings is a little boring to read. A masterpiece, obviously, a very good book, but it's a little boring to read, obviously. Whereas my book, the whole story you're hooked, it's a lot more interesting. And Peter Jackson, when he reads my book, he'll be shocked, and Mel Gibson, they'll be shocked. Holy shit, Ivan wrote this? This is a masterpiece, man. This is better than fucking J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Yes. Even J.R.R. Tolkien's grandsons and great-grandsons who are alive right now, even they're going to be like, yeah, Ivan wrote a better book than our fucking grandfather and great-grandfather. His story is way more interesting than fucking J.R.R. Tolkien's book. Yeah. J.R.R. Tolkien's book is a masterpiece, but it's a little boring to read sometimes in some sections. The prologue's very boring in Fellowship of the Ring. The first half of Fellowship of the Ring is very boring, and it gets more interesting when the ring goes south. That's when it gets more interesting, but it's a pretty boring book in some sections. Whereas Xanus is more interesting. It's a better masterpiece. Hence why it'll be a better movie than Peter Jackson's Rings by a slim margin. Because Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece, obviously. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to enjoy my video before you guys. And then I'll upload it in a couple hours from now, around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning when my set parents reconnect the record. So Ivan the Mayor, I'm signing out. Peace.